Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your April 2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Scorpio. And before we get started, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if it resonates with you. And, tell me how you're doing in the comments. So, if you would like to know which decks I use, how to work with me, the classes I have available, go check out all of this stuff in the description box. And without further ado, I'm just going to lay this out and then we will get started. Okay, let's start with your oracle cards. First thing, awakening, energetic upgrades, a new wave being, integration. Ooh, this one is really, really big right now. So I think there's a lot going on internally. Maybe you're manifesting, maybe you are just simply stepping into the world in a new way, or that's what you're gaining from the month of April is a new way of being in the world, relating to the world, and showing yourself. So there's a lot of upgrading happening. Anything that has been tossed out over the past month or however many weeks, anything that's left, it's like you're in an incubation chamber, you're in this insulation so that you can level up. That's a really important part of what's happening right now. So it's important not to judge this month or this moment at face value. That's my biggest recommendation here. And then we also have emerge. So there's new stuff, there's new growth that's coming out of the month of April. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like. So we will get more context as we go, but just know there's big things that are emerging from this. Clarity, refine your communication, be conscious about your true desires before jumping in, witness, reflect, then move forward with purpose. Gaining clarity on how you're showing up, what you're doing, how you're being, all of this is really, really important right now. So get clarity on all of that as you're moving into this next chapter. And also, I would say be clear about your intentions for April, especially with the current circumstances. It's like really mix it up for yourself this month. Now, let me explain how this spread works. So this is designed to be a really supportive spread for you. The bottom row is what is currently supporting you. What do you already have? What is working for you? The second row is direct action that you need to take in April. And this is the outcome of the month. So first thing we have is the Two of Pentacles, the uncertainty, the not knowing, the day-to-day decisions that you're making. That is ultimately what's supportive. So I would say pay close attention to your daily choices and how that's really working for you. And also, it's important for you to be making decisions for yourself in a way that feels really good, supportive, aligned, even though you might feel blind. So there's a reference to blindness in this particular card, like the eyes are covered. And so it's like, nope, you still want to make decisions from a conscientious, mindful place. And then we also have the Page of Cups. Your intuition, your inner child. I've said this in a couple other readings. You have to notice what the inner child is really needing in order for you to fully support yourself now. Like whatever your circumstances may be, notice what does the inner child want, because that's how you can really support your emotions, your processing, and your sensitivities. Then we have the Ten of Swords. Okay, so I actually mentioned this earlier. Like anything that's been swept away or anything that is already left. Because the good news about the Ten of Swords is like, this is something that you're already aware of. You're already conscious of this Ten of Swords energy. So whatever it is that has left, it's leaving this blank slate that I'm actually getting is really, really healing for you. I'm going to clarify this card, but I think this space that you're experiencing is really necessary and important. So I'm definitely not knocking it at all. And then we have the Knight of Cups. Okay. So even though it may feel really emotionally intense or emotionally distressing or be really taxing emotionally, there is something so necessary about the openness. There's something necessary about the release. Maybe it is the challenge that you're overcoming or experiencing, something like falling out and then the process of rebuilding. Maybe this could be like your first time having that experience, or maybe this is about strengthening your confidence and your ability to rebuild or build from that space. So I'm just getting that there's a lot of healing, resilience coming through. Again, awakening, emerge. It's like there's a lot that's blossoming. And there's like a collective death and rebirth cycle that is happening right now. So you're experiencing a microcosm of that. Now let's look at the direct action for you. The Empress, self-care, self-care, self-care. Also with the telephone, it's like phone a friend. If you're needing some support or TLC, it's kind of like reach out to people if you're needing that. And don't deny yourself of that, especially now. So it looks like there's the divine feminine that's just kind of washing in, and the more that you surrender to this and allow it to be there, the easier it's going to be. If you ignore it, then it's just going to take you down a path of burnout. So the Empress is encouraging you to do things that make you feel your best, right? Do things that make you feel supported, and just to make sure that you're not ignoring self-care. That's really, really key here. Don't ignore it. It's something that you do need to do, especially during any type of stress or anything that's causing a disturbance. Page of Swords, I'm going to clarify this because this is an innovation card, and I'm getting that like new ideas or new doses of inspiration are worth pursuing. The nudge or the idea is worth experimenting with. So I think you have some innovation coming through in whatever capacity. We don't know how it's going to show up yet, but let me get some clarity on what this is. We have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so there's a little bit of holding back energy, right? Conservation. So I think that whatever constraints you have in this moment are helping you to navigate something new or produce something new. The innovation is coming from the constriction. The innovation is coming from being limited or feeling like you're not as mobile as usual. So that is what's feeding this part of you that wants to explore something new or try something new and innovate. Do not be afraid of that. It's something that you want to pay attention to. And if you want to give that energy right now, it seems like it's worthwhile. The outcome of the month is the King of Wands. This is confidence in yourself, what you're creating, what you have the potential to do, the actions that you are taking. This is serving you in all of those ways. So whatever is happening here, by the end of the month, I think you're feeling more secure, more stable, even if the environment still feels shaky, rocky, uncertain. You know, all of that could still exist and be there. But the King of Wands is just like, you've got this card, kind of coming into yourself around that, holding that confidence in your body is what this is working towards. But you have to take time to process the emotions, fill your cup, be okay with the processing piece. Otherwise, you're not going to have any room for that confidence to shine through. Let's get into the timeline. First quarter of April, Justice. Balance, equilibrium, being level-headed. I'm getting that this is a good time to practice a lot of stress reduction, practice things that are just really practical and supportive. Practical, supportive, keep it, you know, consistent and basic, and that's what's going to help you the most in this first quarter. Second quarter of April, we have the Ten of Wands. Don't overdo it, right? So you might get like really excited about a project or excited about something that you're doing or wanting to give energy. But the Empress is kind of like, you need to cool your jets. You need to just take it back to basics. You need to just do things that allow you to fill your cup so that you don't get overwhelmed. Because this is a result of, I'm not doing enough for myself. So be careful of this. And if you feel yourself starting to get overwhelmed, you need to fall back into self-care. And then third quarter, we have the Two of Wands. I think you kind of have a plan. There's something about like having a map or a game plan for how you're going to be working through things or what's coming up. It's like you have more information, more data for yourself in this third quarter. Let's see what happens by the end of the month. Ace of Pentacles. So there's like new growth. It's so funny because I think that April is going to be a month where you're feeling a lot of openness, empty space, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of internal work. As it is, you know, there's integration and upgrade. So during a time of integration, you're not actually seeing the fruit yet. You're not seeing the tree full of fruit. So you don't want to focus on what am I getting out of this right this moment. You need to go through this whole process of integration, downloading the information, and getting into the energy of the upgrade. Then you will emerge, but it seems like you're gonna have to see April through in order to get there. So don't slack off in April when it comes to the internal work, when it comes to capitalizing on this feminine energy. You want to continue doing all of that so that you can really step into this confidence, because the outcome of the month is what's available to you. It doesn't mean that everyone who watches this will listen to me, or the messages that are coming through, right? You still have free will. I have to remind people of that, but just understand that you might feel like April is a bit or a lot slower than it would normally be. And that's okay, because it's setting you up to emerge from this space and do something bigger, something better. Now let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to pick a card, any card, whatever feels best, right, and true for you. And you can just tune in to however many or whichever one feels good to you. Card number 1, 8 of Cups. So it's like there's a new perspective that you're walking into. It's like there may have been a lot of things that have fallen behind or are no longer relevant. It just seems like it really is like that portal feeling, like what's on the other side of this. So there's an element of, what can I do for myself in this state of transition? So I'm seeing the 8 of Cups is like you're evolving and transitioning. So there's going to be another side to this, but only time will tell. But just ride the wave. Don't expect yourself to feel certain or grounded or absolutely clear with this energy. Just don't. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself absolutely mad. Relax into this. Card number 2, we have the 4 of Cups. I think there's actually a lot that you're going to want to be mindful of. You know, don't say yes to absolutely everything. Monitor how much you're giving. That's going to be a big deal. You know, how much energy are you giving to others? How much are you giving to yourself? This kind of reminds me of this 10 of Wands down here. Like if you're not careful, you could give until your cup is empty. So beware of that if you have those tendencies. So it's like this is almost fixed energy gone wrong. A little bit like I keep pouring so much energy into everything else, but taking the focus off of yourself. So you need to be careful with that. Card number 3, we have the 2 of Cups, connection, harmony, equilibrium, and this is once again like phone a friend type of energy. You know, give the people that you care about just a little bit more acknowledgement. You know, this is going to help you as well. It's going to open up those connection channels and just help that bleed into your sense of support and security. And I think that's really important for you right now. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. It has been a pleasure as always. And if you would like to work with me one-on-one, go to onyxhealing.com. Check me out on Instagram at onyxhealing for more content from me. You can check out my podcast. I post some of the episodes on YouTube as well. You may have already seen that. And as always, stay in touch, get on my newsletter, go to the link in the description box, or you can check out all of the different offers that I have down below, as well as all of the decks that I've used in this video. For those of you who are interested in classes, you are more than welcome to join one of the classes that I have. They are open and available, so you can check that out as well. And I will see you all next time. Have a beautiful April, everybody. Bye-bye.